Perry Christie has given a report on conditions across the country as Hurricane Matthew moves through the islands.
For more on that, we head now to Altavis Munnings at NEMA.
Good evening, Bahamas. In less than 24 hours after holding a national press conference here at NEMA's Gladstone Road headquarters, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie returned to NEMA's headquarters earlier this afternoon to get an update on operations here at NEMA's Emergency Operations Center. Good evening, Prime Minister. Can you tell me exactly what you've learned so far on how Bahamians and the administrators and residents everywhere are embracing for the impact and the arrival of Hurricane Matthew?
Well, firstly, I came down here to demonstrate my continuing support for Captain Russell and the team that has assembled here to assist the Bahamas in its emergency preparations and the aftermath and any disaster that comes up. What we did today was to enable me to hear directly from people who are in the islands. And so we spoke with the administrator at Crooked Island. We spoke with the administrator at Long Island. We spoke with administrators on the island of Grand Bahama. This was of particular importance because West End is affected, and we spoke to the administrator there, and they're all telling us that preparations are being made. We spoke to administrators in Andros, and particularly the administrator in North Andros, where we indicated this morning that North Andros will be now in the hurricane impact area, along with New Providence, and we wanted to find out whether they were prepared. The administrator was then driving around. He said he was in Mastic Point, moving around the area, and that part of North Andros, ensuring that people were taking all the steps, being able to advise people on the shore, the coast, that they should move because of the possibility of storm surges. And he was saying there are some people who said they've been living there all their life and they have not experienced any surges, and so it's work in progress with respect to that. We heard from the administrator and the Member of Parliament in Exuma, who are moving people around. They're having wonderful cooperation. They said practically all of the people from Little Exuma and Williamstown area has moved out onto the main land into safer quarters. So that again is tremendous progress to know that people are taking heed of the warnings that we're giving with respect to the impact of Matthew. We also spoke to the Defense Force officer in Ragged Island, who said that Ragged Island was then experiencing 100 miles per hour wind, but that everyone was safe, that people had taken steps to protect themselves, and that there was lots of rain, and said it's been the wind and rain has been going on for the last 2 hours. And so we've really been sort of reassuring ourselves that people are taking all of the steps necessary to protect themselves, that the administrators are on top of all that they have to do, and that the Defense Force officers who are out there in support and the police officers who are out there in support are working together cohesively. And for me, that satisfies me, because all that we must assure the Bahamian people of, that we have everything in place and we're doing our best. I said in a communication to Parliament this morning, I was very impressed with the professionals who are involved in implementing and executing all that we're doing, and they're led by Captain Russell, and that we're very impressed with it, and we're grateful for all the work they're doing. In my case, I've come down as the political director, the political head, just to symbolize the gratitude of the people of the Bahamas for the work they do. And that's what my presence I think gives. Now, again, let me just repeat, to people who are in harm's way, and we know we're now talking about Exuma, all right, where we expect momentarily for hurricane, most certainly conditions to increase. We're told by the MP and the administrator that the wind is picking up. We expect them to be in hurricane conditions either late into the evening and through the morning of Exuma, and so we know they're prepared for it. New Providence, okay, and Andros, people are prepared for it, and I know people have been making every effort to find safe quarters. The Commissioner of Police told me a few minutes ago that his officers are out in all of the areas, and people are happy to see them, and people are talking to them. And again, that is for us to be in a position in the event that it is necessary to facilitate people being evacuated from areas if it becomes necessary and they have not evacuated themselves.
As you can hear, the Prime Minister is very satisfied with operations here at the National Emergency Operations Center at NEMA's Gladstone Road headquarters. He said that he's very satisfied with the level of competency that the officials here will be able to, how they will be able to disseminate the information that will be needed just to track the progress of Hurricane Matthew. Now, when the Prime Minister left here, he said that he was going to travel throughout the streets of Nassau just to see the level of preparedness from residents here in New Providence on the anticipated landfall of Hurricane Matthew. Now, once Hurricane Matthew passes the Bahamas, the Prime Minister said that the Christie administration will use every resource available to ensure that every resident affected by the storm gets all the help that they need. Reporting from NEMA's Gladstone Road headquarters, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you in the studio.